5, and then we'll make it up as we go.
Do what you gotta do, man.
Do what I gotta do. We are not late. Everybody always want to call us late.
Well, it's 8:01, so we're technically kind of late.
We're not on Coughlin time.
You said we were on Coughlin time before, fucker. Come on.
Well, we have a very special show for you tonight. We're joined by a special guest, EMPLemon, someone many of you have been a fan of for a long time. Over 600,000 subscribers on the YouTubes, and also an esteemed Florida Gator and salty Jaguars fan. Let me turn that off. There you go. Oh, there's my ugly face. Sorry, I had to turn off.
That's right,
the
everyone.
music.
I'm still here on Tank Island. The tank is only accelerating. The downward spiral of the Jaguars is only intensifying. However, it still cannot get worse than the Jets. The Jets have somehow managed to have like a historical, awful season in the time when the Jaguars are gonna almost run the table and go 1-15. So we can't even lose better than the best team at losing.
Be careful, because remember, just watch the Jets win like one random game out of nowhere, like maybe Patriots Week 17, and you guys get the top pick.
Y'all are
that
damn,
would be very Jets.
Y'all are damn neck and neck, though. I mean, you're only one game out of the Tank Bowl title.
Well, the Jets should have won that fucking game.
Oh, the Raiders game? Well, the problem was
Raiders.
with that Greg Williams call, he wasn't doing it to tank. He's always been a blitzer.
That's true. You just got to execute, though.
Just
Maybe he doesn't remember the time that he was a D coordinator in Jacksonville.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Greg Williams, Double G was a D coordinator in Jacksonville?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Did he
take a look?
Did he tell
1 year, I
anyone?
think. And if it's the year I'm thinking it is, well, shoot, it all makes sense.
Was it 2013?
Oh, yeah, 08.
I guess it's 2013.
Yes! Yes!
And then he went to New Orleans and Bounty Gate. Shit, I didn't realize he was a Jags coordinator.
Dude, let me tell you something about that season. My God. We blitzed so much. Every quarterback that came to Duval had a career day in Jacksonville. Every one of them. Go look at the scores. I dare you to find any falsehood in what I say.
Let's see here.
It's just amazing.
I watched a double move get run on Drayton Florence time and time again with no safety help. Touchdown.
As Brett Coleman, who was supposed to be the guest this week, but we bounced him for EMPLemon, would say, cover 0 people was what y'all were running. Mm-hmm.
Cover 0 means 0 coverage. It's the great way to fill it.
Points against is 21st, 367, which isn't like it's below average. But it's like there are a lot of like blowout games, it looks like.
A lot of 4 touchdown games for quarterbacks.
Those are those Matt Flynn type games, right? Where you're just like, oh yes, thank you.
One game and it gets him a big old contract.
All right, since EMPLemon is our guest, we're gonna talk a couple things, but I do have to tell you, and this is like a sneak fanboy attack. My 15-year-old son is a huge fan of yours, Emp, and I said that he could ask you 2 questions. So I'm gonna go grab him, and he's gonna come and ask you a couple questions, if that's okay with you. All right?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's really cool. Get the Emp fans in here.
Absolutely. So how's chat doing tonight while he's grabbing his son from his probable crying from Pornhub banning everything? How's everyone doing today?
Went well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, we'll do that. We'll get a little Snapchat action in. Derechi
Snapchat.
Onwe Facil. For 1,000 Costa Rica con, I think it's like a Costa Rica. A Cologne, I think it is.
Yes.
Or Calor. Yep, it says tonight on Days of Our Steelers.
Can you open your eyes?
You showed your son on
Eyes
camera.
are open. They are not closed.
Is this the guy you're teaching to edit?
Did you find something in my jacket? What's wrong with you? Open up your eyes.
They are open. I'm just tired.
Okay. All right, this is Caleb EMPLemon. Say hello to
What's
the
good,
guest.
man?
Hey, Caleb. Nice to have you on.
I'm a
Looking forward
huge
to your
fan, man.
questions.
I've been watching your stuff for a long time, like YouTube poop era.
The true
Whoa.
fans. will
Yeah,
love YouTube
yeah.
hoops.
All right, what are your questions?
Okay, so like I said, wait, can I Nardwar you real quick?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so you're from Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. You moved about an hour away from your hometown, attended UF. You're supposed to graduate April 20th. Did you graduate?
I actually graduated at the end of 2019.
Oh,
so
cool.
I
Okay.
got out right before all the crazy stuff.
Okay,
happened.
that's
I was
good.
like Indiana Jones getting under the door
Mm.
right before he got crushed by the boulder.
So while you're down there, what did you order from Sanchez Pizza?
You mean Satchels?
Satchels, that's what it is. Satchels Pizza in Gainesville.
Satchels now, I've been to Satchels a couple of times. I thought it was pretty good, but this might be unpopular with the Gainesville faithful, but I don't actually like Satchels that much. I mean, it's good pizza. It's good, but I don't really see why it's regarded as that much better than a lot of the other pizza places.
Is that kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
Tree dogging on Primanti Brothers? Is that what it is?
Probably
All right.
pissed off a lot of Gainesville
Okay.
people by saying that, but
Okay.
I don't really see the hype behind Satchels that much.
What was my other question?
Yeah,
So I see you like people your interest, like your content.
This is much harder than it looks.
Whoa.
I've seen that like the people that you like on YouTube overlap a lot with mine. Like you like a Dreg and a Panda. Who do you think is really killing the game, and who do you take inspiration from?
That's hard to say. I kind of just take inspiration from good videos. Like whenever I see someone put out a good video, it's I try to like see what they did successfully and emulate it. It doesn't necessarily refer to a specific person, but some of my favorites are I do like Internet Historian and Frederick Knudsen. We get compared a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My compatriot in Gainesville, Rusty Cage. We also work a lot together and bounce ideas off of each other and collaborate. So that's probably what I have to say about that.
Is he the tree to your 5 points? Is that what it is?
Yes, probably, most likely. That's probably the most accurate descriptor of the working relationship at this point.
Yes, iconic duos of shit posters, right?
Dynamic duos. Uh-huh.
All right,
Okay.
son, run along. You
It's
get
cool.
your fanboy moment.
It was
Exchange
cool.
information. Follow each other on Twitter. All the whole thing. All right.
It was cool meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for the opportunity of coming on here.
You made my 15-year-old son's day. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Isn't that cute?
Well,
What?
You know, it's the Christmas season. We're in the
In the
spirit,
spirit
of
of
giving.
giving.
Yes.
Darn right.
We just got a $50 snapper chat from Graf Von Tirol. If you give up $50, you get to the front of the line, and that's how this capitalist system works. And Graf Von Tirol says, "Can we have a downward spiral tier?" Yeah, let's
That should be
replace.
Jets level trash.
Yeah.
We'll call that.
You don't want to do "Dear God, the Jets are bad." You just want to call that downward spiral.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right, we'll call it downward spiral.
Death spiral. You know
that's-
how
Yeah.
like the alligator like spins on itself before
Hey,
it dies.
Real
Gators
quick,
did a death spiral
we're
on
saying that EMPLemon is very quiet. Can we turn him up?
I don't know.
You
I
might
think
have
it's
to
on
turn me
his
up on
end.
Discord. I'm using a pretty faint microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
5 points.
Yeah.
Take,
Trying to
He
get
said
close.
my
take the
hardware
volume
is
you give
shit.
me and give it to downward spiraling. That might
Okay.
get him up to being audible.
It's not like that. It's kind of like unconditional love. There's only the highest as it can go. You don't give it out like sugar.
Aw,
All right, here I
Um,
turned myself up a bit.
There
Is
you
that a
go.
bit better?
There you
Turn
go.
it
that
up.
is a little bit better.
All right,
Yeah.
let's read a couple super chats before we get into the tier maker.
I did the first one while you were away.
Oh, tonight on Days of Our Steelers.
Yeah.
I thought that said $1 million. I was about to.
No, that's Costa Rican money, I think it is.
If it was $1 million, I would have ended the stream and just been like, "Fuck all of you."
No, we would have just all retired to Florida. Would have gotten some Satchel's Pizza.
Taylor Phillips,
sure.
should Matthew Stafford retire? Yes, he should, but he won't.
That would be pure Lions if he retired in his prime. I mean, he's already starting to deal with the injuries, unfortunately. So I think he's doubtful for next week.
God, Matthew, that's a player who could have been really good if he didn't get put on like an awful franchise with no offensive line to just get thrown out to the wolves.
Yeah,
Year
from
after
what,
year.
like early on, like he'd lead his receivers on and get him killed. That's kind of why Calvin Johnson retired.
Yeah, he's always productive though, Matthew Stafford. He's
a
just
great fantasy football quarterback.
He
He's
had,
a guy who
he had
put
like
up
a
a lot of
5,000
stats.
yard passing season in like
The
his
guy's
third
a
year.
good quarterback stuck in Detroit. He just couldn't get out. Like, Megatron retired. When you're a great player and you go to Detroit, you either retire early or you wither away and die there. And that's what's happened to him. He's died there. And I mean, Megatron, he retired early. Herman Moore got his ass retired.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders retired early.
Mhm.
Like, it's one or
Robert
the
Forte.
other. That's just one of them franchises. You can't escape it. You either go there and die, or you just, you for lack of a better word, you off yourself early so that you don't have to deal with the pain.
So
Or you're
Detroit
in
is
Kung Fu and you get really lucky and get a big payday that Detroit can't afford.
Detroit is the
Yeah.
Alcatraz of the NFL. Apparently, you just die alone in your cell, shitting in a pot. Mike Shaw, until they get it together, the Steelers need to be placed in trash tier. Okay. Wow, we're starting the hot takes tonight.
Well, we went
Ooh,
from
the
Super Bowl to
Steelers.
trash
As a
tier.
Steelers fan, I take no pride in saying, okay, yes, they're the best. They're still the no, I wouldn't say that.
The
I
worst
don't-
11-2 team ever, man.
Yes.
I mean, they look like shit on
They
my
did look like
Is
shit.
it a surprise, though?
And the problem
Like,
is,
these guys
like,
ain't
they've
been
been
able to
playing
run all
like shit the
year.
last couple weeks.
Yeah,
it's
they
just
haven't
like
been able to
they're
run the
winning ugly.
ball.
Well, it's all one-dimensional. It's the way they
Yeah.
call the offense. It's like, oh boy, it's 3rd down and 5. I wonder if they're going to pass the ball. Oh my God, they're in a shotgun formation and they're going back. Oh my God, Deontay Johnson dropped the ball again. Let's go to Eric Ebron. Oh no, I dropped the ball. I
Does
said
everyone
the
get a
same
load
thing
of-
on Twitter. You know
Get all
what?
these
Let's
Steeler fans complaining about having 2 losses. You know what we call 2 losses in Jacksonville?
A
September.
successful.
This is the
season.
first 2 weeks of September.
For real.
Well, when you go from Super Bowl contender to the offense looking like shit and you delude yourself into thinking you're going to win the Super Bowl, you think it's bad shit. I mean, let's be real. New Orleans is fucking seething right now.
Yeah, New Orleans they blew it. They completely
They
blew
did.
any chance they had at having a comfortable playoff.
And the number one
At
seed.
least their first game. At least the first game.
Yeah, we now, because of that, we're going to have to put Tommy Kami's Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl tier, which we will not do because I know he's lurking, and it's going to go in the downward spiral. But anyways, let's cover some games here. We got the Patriots and the Rams. The Rams just beat the shit out of the Patriots.
It's waffle boarding. It
Yep.
was
Cam Newton, every week, you just wonder when.
Cam Newton just doesn't have the
He's
shoulder
done.
anymore.
He's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have the mechanics. Like, he doesn't even have the focus, it seems like. He's just throwing the ball around. He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
And, like, he looks like he's laboring when he throws the football. It's like he's throwing it like a baseball, like just like heavy shoulder mechanic usage. And with a revamped shoulder like that, I feel like that's just not good for his overall like image. Like, he can still run, but that's really about it.
That's the
I
way we
can
looked
only-
last year. Then they stitched him up like Edward Scissorhands, and now he's slowly digressing into a man who's just literally his arm is attached with some needle and thread. That's about as
Yeah.
pretty as it looks.
I got a question for y'all. Have you ever gone to your local grocery store when they're having the meat sale of the month or of the year, and you go and you look at all the ground beef they got, and it's all this like 73-27 ground beef. It looks like hammered dog shit held together with cow fat.
That's Cam
And they
Newton's
said-
shoulder.
Yeah, that's the muscles in Cam Newton's shoulder
No,
right
you
now.
know-
It looks like that big 20-pound tray of fatty, gristly, no fucking good ground beef sitting there waiting for you to buy it because it's $3.99 for that big 20-pound tub.
Nah, To extend this metaphor even longer, he's the manager special with the yellow price tag, and it's already turning brown and gray inside the package, and you're just
it's great.
What
It's
science
great across the
it's
experiment?
more
service at all.
gray.
Jesus Christ.
It's the stuff they're trying to get rid of before they have to toss it.
Well, fun fact about
And that's the stuff
before-
you have to cook immediately. Or else
before it's
yeah.
technically illegal for them to have it.
Right.
Yeah.
I only buy that shit
Botulism.
if I'm immediately grilling it or cooking it or something.
And-
That's it.
EMPLemon, how back far into the internet do you go? There's a website called stinkymeat.net back in the late 90s.
Stinky meat.
Yes.
No,
guy
dude,
would-
I was
Go ahead.
in like diipers back then.
Oh. This guy
back
would buy
th-
meat from the grocery store and then put it out in a field somewhere and take pictures of it every day. And it would just-
Jesus.
Wow, that's disgusting.
The internet was wild in the 90s, let me tell you.
It was.
All right,
Well,
where
fun
do we
fact
put
about
I was
Cam
too young
Newton,
to remember
actually,
that
you know.
too, but like I miss like 07, 08 internet. This shit now.
Man, I was there when
Peak YouTube poop
Facebook
era.
took its first 24, when it first started, the day it started. I remember a time before the internet.
You were in college when Facebook came out? When it was actually
Yeah, I
only
was-
for college people?
Yeah, I was in college. I was at Purdue.
Damn.
I don't know how
Feels-
people went to college without being able to cheat off of Google.
Yeah, when you had to
I had to actually
download
study.
papers.
it.
when you had to actually look over somebody's fucking shoulders. You know how hard that is now?
Especially now that everyone's working from home. It just all bets are off.
Well, the
is
thing with
anyone-
like at home testing is you can just look up the shit on another browser and no one would notice.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
enter the workforce and that's all you do anyways as well. It's just
Yeah.
Google everything.
It's like,
So-
like I have the stuff on Google Chrome. Oh, I'll just do on Firefox and look up the answers.
No, just open up a new tab.
Well, I don't know if it like changed tabs or whatnot. But
Nah, what do they got to prove it? They got to prove it. I don't have to prove I'm innocent. That's assumed.
The Titans and the Jaguars. Let's cover this before we get into more
Yeah.
dogpiling super chats. And this is relevant to EMP's interests as the Titans righted the ship by doing what they do best, giving the ball to that large man, Derrick Henry. The real question is, are the Jaguars trash or are they downward spiral Jets level trash? Because they're only one game out of that top overall pick.
Well, the Jaguars should definitely be in the downward spiral tier. I don't really see any other. I don't really see any other argument where they
Yeah.
could even be trash.
You can't even name me any key players on that team.
like
Nobody
the only
can
one is
name
James
one.
Robinson, like the halfback. That's
Who?
the only good story. The undrafted running back, James Robinson. That's the only good story you have. Like
he'll be
otherwise,
fine.
it's just interchangeable. I
Just
mean,
sorrow.
there's Miles Jack.
Miles Jack got hurt. He's done for the year, ain't he?
Shit, I'm not sure. I know Josh Allen got hurt.
Oh, yep. Josh Allen got hurt. Yep.
Gardner Minch came back into the game.
Yeah, when it was like 31-7.
Yeah. I think the Florida player who threw the shoe has a better arm than Gardner
Man, I
Minch.
told people were asking me last year when I was in Jacksonville when they got hammered by the fucking Saints. They were asking me, "Hey, Uche, you think Minshew's for real?" And I just looked them dead in their eyes and was like, "No, no,
Yeah.
no, I don't think he's real. No."
He
The
only was
Jacksonville quarterback. There hasn't been a good Jacksonville quarterback since David Garrard.
he was
David
only
Garrard
good
was
out
pretty good. They
there
had a
because
seasons.
he had the mustache. He had marketability. He
Yeah,
wasn't,
He's a very Jacksonville man.
that's
Yeah, he
true.
looks like
like-
what Jacksonville looks
He's
like.
the Florida man
A
quarterback.
barren redneck wasteland.
He's just coming
Imagine-
from Publix with a bandana on, you know.
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
maybe
Yeah, he
a
is
manager
the
special in his back
He is
pocket.
he is
Imagine
the perfect face, the perfect face of Jacksonville.
Imagine Duck Hodges in Jacksonville. He'd
Oh,
fit in
yeah.
well there. Oh, we got another 50, by the way.
You go ahead and read that.
Third degree Top Gun. Excuse me. Wait, since when did the Bears win by multiple touchdowns? Excuse me. In other news, the old Oaken bucket game is canceled. Or is it back on? Who knows? If Purdue loses, Braum is on the hot seat. In basketball,
What?
Trevion Williams slapped Indiana State. Boiler up.
Is Braum a good coach?
Man, they're terrible. They're terrible. They should be considering buying out his contract as soon as this next game is over with.
what I
Dude is
want.
terrible. I've been there, and I, you know, I didn't really deal with him face to face like that, but I dealt with a couple of the coaches, worked with some of the offensive linemen, you know, tried to kind of give them some kind of professional, I guess, perspective on how to approach the game. Because as I sat there and watched them in practice and tried to help their O-line coach in drills, I was just like, wow, these guys aren't even being taught how to play O-line the right way. What I mean, you know.
Ooch, if Purdue offered you a coaching gig, would you take it?
Yeah, if they offered me the head coaching gig, I'd take it.
Okay. What about offensive line? How much does like an offensive line coach make in college?
I'd take an O-line coach gig.
Okay.
I would.
You have the personality for it.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I was trained, and my entire football mentality was bred by coaches who were O linemen, right, and guys who played at the highest of their at the level that they were in, and they understood the game. I mean, my O-line coach that I had my entire career in Jacksonville was the O-line coach in Kansas City. How many times has he been sacked out there in Kansas City?
Nah, they know how to block out there in Kansas City. They took Jeff Schwartz and made him into a Pro Bowler. Okay. James Amade. Yeah. No wonder nobody shows up. No wonder nobody shows up for Major League Baseball anymore. $20 for parking, $7 for tickets to watch the Cleveland Indians change their name.
No longer Indians. Yes. It's probably going to be the Spiders.
My vote is Steamers.
Just call them the Native Americans.
Cleveland baseball team.
The Cleveland baseball team.
Because we need that abbreviation.
They should do the Drew Carey homage and say Cleveland Rocks.
The Cleveland Rocks.
There you go. That'd be different. Be interested.
Yeah. I wish cities would name their teams for just what they're known for. Like the Pittsburgh Yinzers, right?
The Cleveland River Fire.
Yep. The Jacksonville Felons, maybe.
Chicago Shooters.
Chicago Murders.
Chicago Shooters.
Jesus Christ.
That could be a basketball team name now.
That sounds like a good basketball team.
In the 80s, when Washington was named the Bullets, they were appropriately named. Donovan Gibbs, my personal Lao Cow of the week is New York high school sports, as Section 11 has canceled high school wrestling and basketball this season. That sucks for anyone that's losing a season. Yeah, I just could imagine. I mean, I worked my whole life to play my senior year of baseball, and that was like my highest athletic achievement was high school baseball, and to have that taken away would really suck.
Pennsylvania is suspending high school athletics for a couple weeks too. It's only 3 weeks, but it's going to be long.
Oh, there's a game going on. So Nick Chubb just scored.
Oh, fantasy points.
Yep.
Cleveland got that big Chubb action working.
Yeah, that big Chubb action. All right, let's
got his Pornhub fix in before they banned all the unverified content.
That's right. If Cleveland wins, the Steelers are in, right? Is that how it goes?
Oh, I think they're already in.
Oh. Why is everybody rooting? Oh no, the Bills clinched the playoff berth. If Cleveland,
the Bills, boy, man,
they look good.
They look good.
Holyfield,
Buffalo sure look good. Yep,
they did.
They look really good.
Legit. I mean,
I think they got the best O-line in football. To be honest,
I'd say Cleveland gives them a good run for their money. Wyatt Tellerson, of course.
Yeah, I could agree. I could see that. Yeah.
But Buffalo was strong. Like, they neutralized TJ Watt. And, I mean, they double-teamed him all night. But even then, like, he had nothing.
Nothing. All right,
that's how you beat TJ Watt.
Let's do Vikings and the Buccaneers. It seems like the Vikings were kind of mercifully put down in that game. The game they had to win, a game they did not win by the other Florida man squad, the Buccaneers. Vikings are squarely sus, right?
It is so cruel that they lose again by means of field goal. Jesus
That
Christ.
is their legacy.
10 points shaved off the board from field goals.
Dan Faley.
He's done. I mean, the only reason why they haven't cut him now is because of COVID procedure. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I guess they got to keep him
they need like
around because they don't want to have a week for another kicker to wait.
Why is it that the Vikings cannot find a kicker the same way that
The Jaguars can't find the quarterback?
yes.
The Jaguars can't find any
Well,
good
because
players.
Minnesota constantly skull fucks themselves.
Well, that's
As does
Skulls.
Jacksonville.
Skull, baby, skull.
The only skull they're enjoying is the fucking shoe right now.
Yeah.
who Emp, in your opinion, who's been the best Jacksonville quarterback besides Dave Garrard?
Besides Garrard, I don't know. I wasn't around to see Mark Brunell play. They did have that 13-3 season where they lost in the AFC Championship. So that was probably the best Jaguars team ever. But so it's probably Mark Brunell too. And then after that, as much of a meme it is, Bortles, because he did have one good season, good in quotation marks, but he made it to the AFC Championship game, which I still think was one of the most ridiculous things.
That was
ever.
a theft. That was a theft of a victory directly out of another team's hands. It was
They beat
sanctioned.
Pittsburgh. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Tree uploaded a video. He was like the most pissed off I've ever seen him.
Well,
He was-
that whole year, I saw that coming from a mile away. You saw it in the way the Steelers were playing. You think there were frauds this year? 2017, it was even worse. It came through the same script. They didn't play a single quarterback. They would look horrible against these sub-500 teams, and then suddenly in the final drive, Antonio Brown would make this great catch, Le'Veon would make a great play, Ben would make a deep throw, and then Chris Boswell would kick a 50-plus yard field goal to win the game. This happened every goddamn time.
And that was
Here
like the
they
end.
come. Save
That was
the
the end
day.
of like the Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell era in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Bell and
What
Brown.
a wasted era. That
It was.
era should have been much. I mean, they
That
should still
offense
be
was-
there.
Think of that 17 offense. Look at how much talent they had. Big Ben before his injury. Le'Veon Bell. You had Juju Smith-Schuster as a rookie. Antonio Brown. Martavis Bryant. Your O-line was really strong. You also had, Villanueva, Ramon Foster, Pouncey. I think you still had Marcus Gilbert. David DeCastro as a
Shazier.
troll.
Shazier. Did we say
Yeah,
him?
Shazier. Well, Shazier was injured by then, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the year.
That
he
was,
sucked.
that was a damn good. That was a damn good offensive unit.
Yeah, the defense was suspect though. You had Mike Mitchell as safety, and it was not good.
So much
Yeah, and
loss
Brian-
to
Brian
tragedy,
Cole.
that team, though. So much loss.
This was before they acquired Hayden. This was before they
Mm.
acquired Steven Nelson. Like their secondary was bad.
Beast
I mean,
Metal
but it-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. My bad.
Oh. Beast Metal 1989. Here's a segue. Dear Ben Roethlisberger, kindly fuck off to Canton. Sincerely, Beast Metal 1989. P.S. You've destroyed yourself. They're trying to turn Ben Roethlisberger into Eli Manning when he got older. This, drop back, two-step drop, pivot, and turn quarterback. And he's doing it well, but when they need the big play, they're kind of getting exposed.
He doesn't have the arm, and that's the result of the
Yeah.
elbow surgery.
Yeah, and when you can't run the ball, I think the defenses are figuring it out. If we can play two safeties deep,
I
and
think they're
stop the
averaging
run,
like 2 yards a carry, like 2.5 yards a carry.
Like,
They're not
their
even
run
like.
blocking has fallen apart. And I mean,
Oh,
James
it's
Conner's
bad.
not a
Off the
bad
step,
running back, but
guys.
he's not a bell cow.
what was that? Who said EMP? Was that you, Emp?
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
I
Oh,
think somebody
That
was
was
talking.
me.
somebody
man.
was.
Oh, that's Big Daddy Cobra.
Oh, okay. What's up? I'm gonna have. There's
Not
too many people in right
Shit to
now.
my brother. Your name Tree. How
Yeah.
about them Bills, Tree?
You earned it.
I know I did because it's all in another episode. Steve, our Steelers.
All right. Thanks for popping in. There's too many people in here right now. Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Can I give you an update on what's going on with me though?
Yes.
I end up getting the Rona, and not the
Oh.
and not the asymptomatic Rona. The God help me, I'm coughing up my entire lungs Rona. I
So you
can tell
kinda
you
got
right now,
Okay.
this is the worst worst weeks of my life right now.
How are you doing though? You holding on? You're all right?
I'm holding on.
What are they giving you?
Well, right now I'm drinking all the NyQuil and Dalequil right now, and all the water I have.
All the water you have? You have a limited supply of water?
All of the water we have.
Okay.
I can just imagine him with his face sucked up under a faucet, and that faucet's just going.
Well,
It's a beer tap full of NyQuil.
That
Well-
sounds like fun.
well, we wish you a speedy recovery, and thankfully your team won, so they're back on track.
Thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Damn.
I'm just glad that the AFC East isn't being dominated by the Patriots for the 20th year in a row.
I think everyone's like that right now.
I'm so
It's
happy.
like finally some new teams out of the East.
I'm so happy.
I hope the Dolphins make the playoffs. They're a very interesting team.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. It's going to be the Dolphins and the Bills moving forward with this division.
And then the Jets sit back and turn into the Mets of football.
Now, being someone from Gainesville, is that like a city that's torn between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Jaguars and the Dolphins, or is it decidedly one?
No, they're just Gator fans.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those cities where NFL doesn't really have that big of an impact. Sort of like your Madison, Wisconsin, Ann Arbor,
Oh,
Michigan.
no sway. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a couple Jags fans. Probably a majority of the NFL fans are Jags fans here, but there's still some Dolphin fans, some Bucs fans.
Is
about the
Tim
middle.
Tebow still God in Gainesville?
Oh, we have a statue of him in front of our stadium. You got the
Oh,
three Heisman,
God.
the three
That's
Wiseman,
blasphemy.
Heisman winners.
To think
Spurrier,
Christian
Werfel,
Man
and
has a
Tebow.
graven image named in his honor.
How's
That's,
Warfel get a statue?
Well, they made one for him. He was a
Werfel
great
does.
college quarterback.
He was actually really special for college. In the pros,
Yeah, he wasn't shit in the NFL.
He didn't. He got like a 6th round pick and did nothing.
well,
That
all of
track's
them
gonna
were
be good in
terrible.
the
NFL.
old ball coach revived his NFL career, which was bad. They should build a statue
All
for
of
Chris
them.
Doring.
All of them were shitbag terrible in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. Who's the best UF quarterback ever in the NFL?
Probably Rex Grossman because he made it to the Super Bowl one year.
He made it to the Super Bowl by default. He didn't
If
even play
Sexy
the
Rexy
season.
is the best quarterback,
He stole
Now-
it from Kyle Lorton, my quarterback at Purdue.
Yes, he did steal it from Orton, but they did award Grossman the start against the Packers, which was the first shutout of the Packers in the Brett Favre era of any team, including the Bears.
And who did that have more to do with, Rex Grossman or that defense they had?
Well, let's see. The like imagine in your head like a row of John Deere combines, but with tools of flesh destruction instead of just corn cutters, or the sex cannon on the other side. I'm gonna pick the line of deers over here.
Oh, also on that team, Devin Hester.
Yes.
Possibly
Oh,
the
yeah.
best punt returner of
Hester's
all time.
rookie year.
I remember like a year after that, they had that Monday night game against Arizona where you had Dennis Green.
No, that was the
completely
same year.
meltdown afterwards after they.
That was
choked,
the
like,
same
20
year.
Same year,
point
yeah,
lead.
because he was
Oh, it
like,
was
if
the
you
same
want to
year?
crown they ass, because they were, he believed they were overhyped, and he was right.
And they completely outplayed the Bears in that game, and then just Hester had like 2 return touchdowns, and they got a defensive touchdown.
Red
I believe it
Rhino,
was 2 defensive touchdowns, and then Hester put us ahead.
Oh yeah.
And that still didn't end the game because they still got down the field to the point where they could kick a field goal, and I think it was blocked.
Red Rhino 94. What's more broken, Cyberpunk 2077 or a Yinzer's dream? I
Well,
have
at
yet.
least Cyberpunk 2077 can be fixed. When a Yinzer's dream is broken, it's very hard to repair.
I have not
Yeah,
played
until you have to-
Cyberpunk 2077, but I hear you can make your own 17-inch penis.
I've heard that too. Like you can
Oh,
attack
God.
Definitely have the BBC in there. I know that. Not the game.
Live. This ain't live from London.
Hey, they've got the big black cock. They've got it in there. 17 girthy inches, right?
Maybe that's what they were delaying it that long for. They wanted to perfect the sexual organ emote.
I heard the titties couldn't get that big though. I heard there was a limit on the titties.
Maybe
All
they
right.
had to get a license for that shirt straight out of Oakland.
Flylatory, hey, tree pens are interested in patches. Have fun. Max Pacioretty. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, good luck. Who you gonna trade for?
Emp, do you follow any other sports besides football?
Well, the sport I actually watch most is NASCAR because I'm from the South.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I just find NASCAR really satisfying to watch. It's cool because you can just like you can
Left
chill
turns
out,
all
not really
day.
focus in that much, but you can also pay attention a lot and spot out cool details and stuff. I don't know. I just really like the pacing of NASCAR and also racing
Ha-
itself. I've always liked
Black
it.
Black Flags Matter. Another NASCAR YouTuber, guest of the show. He's in the chat if you see him. Darian is also he's our NASCAR go-to knowledge person as well. I want to give him a quick shout out. What do you think of the playoff format in NASCAR?
NASCAR playoff format. I originally liked it when it came out, but now that it's been a few years, it's just kind of unsatisfying where you often have situations where the best driver doesn't win the championship. Like
Yeah.
this past season, Kevin Harvick was far and away the best driver. He had like a 10-win season and average finish of like 7.2 or something. And he got eliminated before the final round of the playoffs. I just think that to determine a champion in a single race, there's just too much variance and stuff that could go wrong in a single race to just accurately determine the best driver.
I absolutely agree with you. It was worthless. I thought it should have come down to Hamlin and Harvick, and it
Right.
didn't. And Formula One, which has kept the same system forever, is still interesting. It's even in these races where everything's decided, people are still watching because, well, one, the cars are just pure sex, but two, like it's still the pageantry. It means something to get a podium in F1. NASCAR's lost that to me.
NASCAR, this whole decade's been pretty much of a transitional era where you had a huge hype for NASCAR in the 2000s where it just inexplicably became the number 2 most popular sport in America, and it could have conceivably taken over the NFL, but it got really wrecked by the recession, and the car of tomorrow was very polarizing, and after that they had a very underrated reason for NASCAR's decline was that they didn't have really any good rookies in the sport for like 7 years. Like from 2007 to 2013, there weren't really any young promising drivers coming up. You had the open wheel invasion of guys like Sam Hornish and Dario Franchitti would come over, but a lot of them didn't really translate that well.
Or
to
Montoya,
NASCAR.
and then the stunt with Danica. That was like part of the beginning of the end. Just bringing in Danica.
I mean, one year Kevin Conway got Rookie of the Year, and he just sells like fake boner pills to fund his race team. So that just goes to show kind of the just how lean the talent pool was back then. And then later in the decade, you had guys like Stewart, Gordon, and Earnhardt Jr. retiring, and it took a lot of star power away from the sport. But this past year for NASCAR, it's on the come up. I saw an article recently where they rated it as like the number 7 fastest growing brand among like Gen Z people.
Wow.
So it's interesting.
The season was fun though. I will say this. The season was really fun. Chase Elliott winning it. There was disasters. There was drama. It was a fun year this year, especially with it being the only game in town during when the pandemic was going. I mean,
well, that was also nice because NASCAR was the first sport back. That was like a big moment because everyone was all demoralized because there's no sports to watch. And then NASCAR was the first one to come back. And Chase Elliott winning the championship, it's a real feel-good thing because NASCAR's most popular driver has not won the championship since Bill Elliott, Chase Elliott's father, back in the 80s. So it's looking like a cool new direction for the sport. They overhauled the schedule. There's now like 6 road courses on the schedule next year, and there's going to be a points-paying dirt race for the first time.
I'm going to be
like
excited for that, for sure.
So it's truly exciting in NASCAR, which is something I probably couldn't have said like 5 years ago. The playoffs, pretty gimmicky, and even now the TV ratings for the playoffs, I don't think are even that good. So I imagine the next time NASCAR has to renegotiate their TV schedule, they're probably gonna introduce a different points format because the playoffs year after year is becoming more and more unpopular, and it's not even justifiable on the ratings end anymore.
Yeah. Sorry, we got a $50 super chat. Purdue sports fact: other than Alabama, the only school to produce 3 Super Bowl winners is Purdue. Drew Brees, Bob Greasy, and Len Dawson. Purdue is an underrated football factory, in my opinion. There's a free video idea, FPV, underrated football factories. Yeah. Northern.
Yeah, we
Illinois.
put out a ton of people from Purdue that I remember.
Yeah, you just don't win the Big Ten. Just doesn't happen.
Yeah, we just don't do shit in the Big Ten.
But they will just randomly upset Ohio State, like for no reason.
Out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Irvin Alvarado, congrats to Columbus Crew winning the second title at home. It's a wide, I think he meant ride, for team first threatened to move in 2015, then fans rallying, leading to save the team. Congrats to the Crew and fuck Precourt. Yeah, fuck Anthony Precourt. Asshole. Asshole. All right, back to the games. Oh, Emp, I want to ask you one question. Can you name an active hockey player?
Sidney Crosby, I guess.
There you go. There you go. I'm glad it didn't take you a while.
We don't watch much hockey here in the South on account of there being no natural ice.
Yeah, well,
so
you know,
hard appeal. Tampa is very popular, though. I was just traveling from Tampa, and the Lightning are very popular there.
Well, they just won
Other
their
than
second
that-
cup, so it's good times when you win. Chiefs and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a playoff team, aren't they?
I'd say wild card for now.
Wow.
I mean, they held their own.
Definitely a wild card. I still feel like Fitzpatrick at the quarterback position in that game, they got a better chance.
Tua's still rough around the edges. He's finding out that the NFL is not as easy as he thought.
It's not a joke like he thought it was after you won one.
Don't ever say that.
I think Tua threw his first interception ever, which is really promising that a rookie quarterback's been in all those games and he's just now thrown an interception. It's good. You don't want a young guy to just ruin his confidence by throwing a bunch of picks like Ryan Leaf or some other guy like
Nathan
that.
Peterman. Nathan Peterman was like, picks. I got those.
I think they delivered
yeah.
it simple for him.
Peterman actually went to Bartram Trail High School, which was like 10 minutes away from where I grew up in St. Augustine, Florida.
No way.
I don't even think he was that good in high school, so I really don't understand how he got to the pros.
Where did he go to school? I forget. In
Tennessee,
college.
and he went to Pitt. He was good at
Yeah,
Pitt.
he went to Pitt. Yeah, he developed. Some people just find the right system, you know. They're good at one or two things. And
the quarterback he beat out, you know his name?
Who?
Ben DiNucci.
Oh, he beat out Ben DiNucci.
Mm-hmm. And then DiNucci transferred.
Wow.
I even forgot that. I'm like, wait, DiNucci was at Pitt? Oh, shit. Okay.
I think Peterman was part of the miraculous Jaguars 2017 playoff run where they defeat the Blake Bortles Jaguars defeated the Nathan Peterman Buffalo Bills 10-3.
Yeah, I think it was like I
wild-card
think he threw the last pass or something like that.
Oh, they
That
put
was
him at the
pick,
very end.
The pick against that kind of made Ramsey a star.
I think.
Yeah.
That was
That
on the
wasn't
last
really a
play.
Scored. Jeez, what's with these monies? Okay, Tree, read that one. We got a $69 one.
Nice.
Jeez, people are going crazy now. To thy YINZER Lord, a sacrificial offering. If Tree can name the last team to stop running the single wing offense in the NFL, I'll donate some money. Ooh.
He already did, but the single wing offense. Last
Single
team
wing.
to stop running? So,
Single
okay.
wing.
Single wing.
Who
I
ran?
don't think that it's ever stopped running because you'll see that formation come back out of nowhere. That's not gone
Well,
forever.
is he saying primary as like the primary offense, as the base offense, single wing?
You don't
What's
have to
that
think,
formation?
because,
Is that just a quarterback and a halfback behind him? What's that?
The wing formation, that's offset ace.
Okay.
I think. No, that's
like strong side, weak side?
How many?
It's the
Is
way
it
I look at
backside,
it here on
front side?
Wikipedia.
Is it just how I wipe my butt? backside, front side?
Sort of.
Nah.
I'm looking at it here on Wikipedia. So you have two ends,
Oh, Wildcat?
guard, center guard. The two tackles are over on the right, and the snap is going to either the tailback or fullback. The quarterback is in the positions just ahead and to the right of the,
So it's a direct snap
where the
to
ball's
either
going.
back.
It's direct snap, but it's got a lot of extra offensive linemen to the right.
So you're doing overload right. So you have an extra lineman in on the right
That'd be
side.
the Packers.
Yeah.
It says like the precursor to the shotgun formation.
I'm
So,
sure it's the Steelers though. If you want to.
With the running back at 5 yards deep, getting the snap or under center.
5 yards deep. It's a shotgun.
So
It's a shotgun to tackle over shotgun. So that's overload right.
So it's like a prototypical Wildcat.
That's gun overload right. That's Wildcat.
Everyone's saying it's the Steelers.
I would say,
Yeah.
I'd say Miami. Weren't they running that by
Miami
themselves?
did run the Wildcat a lot, but
According to Wikipedia, so however good this is, the Pittsburgh Steelers were the last NFL team to use the single wing as their standard formation, finally switching to the T formation in 1952.
Oh shit!
Wow.
So we're going back to
era of football.
We're going back to the good old days of Papa Bear Hallis.
Leather helmet.
Still kicked your ass.
Yeah.
So
Leather
Six-pack
helmets
shirt.
and football at Wrigley Field.
All right, give us the other $31 for Googling. Just like Emp said, that's all we do is Google in real life and at school. Cass Muss, hey Tree, Lao Cow of the Week should be Marco Wilson for that shoe throw that cost the Florida Gators a shot at the playoffs. Oh, what a segue into
that was.
Emp's
As a Gator
misery.
fan, I gotta say, I feel like we've been divinely retributed by some sort of cosmic deity. Because in the same day, you had Keontae Johnson just completely collapse on the basketball court. And then
Scared.
He's still in a coma.
we just look completely pathetic against this
All right. I hope he
LSU
makes it through,
team
though.
that we have no business losing to. And everyone talks about the shoe play. I didn't get to watch much of this game because I was out traveling. But I turned it on for a couple of minutes in the second quarter. And there was a play in this game that was like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen, where the Gators were going to drive down and probably score a touchdown. And then Trask throws the ball towards the sideline. It hits the receiver in the hands, bounces off his hands, bounces off an LSU defender's helmet, and then a different LSU defender who was like out of bounds on his knees jumps back in bounds on his knees and makes the interception in bounds by like a single grain of grass. And I don't know, I thought like you couldn't make a play on the ball if you went out of bounds, but maybe the rules are different in college. I don't know,
yeah.
but that was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, wow, the Gators are not going to win this game because they were losing at that point.
Yeah.
They were losing early on. They're like losing the entire game. And with that play, I'm like, they're not going to win. They're just not going to win.
I think
And
they
it's only
really
the second quarter.
Yeah, I think they overlooked LSU. Like they're like, LSU lost to Auburn. LSU has played like shit this year, and LSU was ready for them. That's what it was. And
You know what this was like an Urban Meyer loss, where Urban Meyer, great college coach, but sometimes I think he did this for both UF and Ohio State, where sometimes you just play this game and they lose to a team where this team has no business winning this game based on how good they are. It's like it seems like they already started just preparing for the SEC championship game, and they didn't really put that much practice into LSU, and they got completely outplayed.
do you know
Also,
Scooter
their defense is
Magruder?
not very good.
Do you know who Scooter is?
Yeah, he's a local campus legend.
Oh, really? He's been
Yeah.
on the show. I'm sure he had a meltdown. Now
I
we've
feel
had
bad for
two
Scooter.
UF legends on the show now. EMPLemon and Scooter. Silver Lucario or Lucario. Did I say that right? Ding, ding, ding. Correct. P.S. I have a near eidetic memory. Did I say that right? And I'm a sports and war history nerd, so I pretty much remember everything I visually process. Good job, fellas. Quick segue. My wife has a friend, a Facebook friend, who says that she does not have an inner voice in her head. Do you know anybody like that? Like, I have a voice that talk. Like, are we all on the same page? We all have voices in our head that speak to us.
Yeah.
I have several
Yeah,
that argue.
It seems pretty standard.
Yeah,
But I have heard of people who don't
Yes.
have it.
yeah, and I
Everybody's
was
got
like,
an internal commentator.
yeah, I don't know how you could go through life without someone being like, oh, that's
That was some dumb shit.
my
Why'd you do that?
my head is always saying the dumbest, most stupid shit in my head. Like, wow, that's a really fat person. Like, or like, oh my gosh, you should not wear that in public. And but I at least I have the filter that can stop that from going to my mouth. Some people just don't have the filter or the stop. David Benjamin says the New York Jets. Yes, they are.
That is the New York Jets.
You know what? I think the Jets wouldn't be tanking so hard if it wasn't for the fucking Jaguars, right? Like, they would actually try to win a game.
They
if
would
the
like to
Jaguars
win a
were-
game.
Right. The Jags didn't want Trevor Lawrence so fucking bad.
Who knew
Jags are
that?
like, don't you? The Jags are like, don't you worry. We're going all the way to the end. We're
Yes.
getting blown out the rest of the
Six-
season.
They
You
are on a
needed-
12-game losing streak. They're like trying as hard as they can, you know?
Who knew that randomly winning against Indianapolis in week 1 would come back to haunt them?
Would come back to haunt them.
Minshew cursed it. Who knew that just not going 0-16 for like only the second time in history would cost them the first pick?
Oh my
I said,
God.
just watch the Jets randomly win one game and cost them the number 1 pick.
No, I want to see the justice of a 1-15 team not getting the number 1 overall pick.
And then the
Well,
Bengals will be
they're-
like,
And then it's like
2-14
here's the
and
number
one.
2 pick.
I'll be 2-13-1 and have the 3rd overall
Yeah,
pick.
Probably
2-13-1.
Justin Fields
Yeah.
would go number 2.
Fields and then Panay Sewell 3.
Oh, and look, I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I like to think I have a feel for these things. Justin Fields is not going to be that guy. I just don't see
I
it.
don't like
No,
his
well,
mechanics.
that's why they're trying to tank.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, he could be that guy. He could be. He's got all the things you want. He could be. Joe Burrow, he could be.
Yeah. The thing
But
with
this
Lawrence
guy,
is
Fields, he's not going to be that guy.
Lawrence
he's a college
mechanically is just perfect. His
Yeah.
the way he throws the ball, his deep balls,
throws
like
the
there's
ball
no
well.
yeah.
He has great instincts. He doesn't overextend. He has freakish athletic ability.
He's got speed too. Like,
Yeah,
it's
dude, he
crazy.
can outrun an entire defense if you give him a sideline.
Yeah. He's a generational talent, and we're gonna see him in the NFL, but he's gonna pull an Eli Manning and not play for the Jets.
Pull a John Elway.
Yeah.
Between
Broncos.
the Jets and the Jaguars, yeah, he's got to take the Jaguars. I would.
Yeah. Well, or maybe number 4 team will trade a King's ransom for him again. You know.
Oh, you'd have to give up like your next 3 first-round picks
Maybe
Maybe
overall.
4 or 5.
Well, you know, the Jets, if they get the number 1 overall pick, suddenly that becomes an attractive job because they could turn that into 4 first-round picks if they do it right.
I mean, didn't the Jets just get Darnold like 3 years ago? Darnold was like
Already
he was
did
like
it?
projected as the number 1 pick, and now they did nothing. They just did nothing.
They've already played this game.
Yeah.
Not even 5 years ago.
They're shedding him like a snake in molting is what they're doing.
No offensive line, no offensive weapons, a defense that gets porous, and he goes 3 and out all the time.
Yep, pretty much.
Sounds like a great place for a young developing quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if Darnold ever gets behind a competent offensive line, they need to name that line the Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
Broncos and the Panthers. The Broncos, they won, but I think they're either sus trash or just trash. Sus.
Well, they didn't have a quarterback a week ago.
Yeah.
We'll give them sus.
Yeah.
They're
That's
soft
safe.
because they finally show up to their potential and it's too late.
Panthers trash or sus? Sus trash.
I'd probably
Yeah.
say
Trash. They're trash.
trash.
4-9. They're
yeah.
trash.
I mean, they've usually lost 1-score games. They have upside, but it's just not.
4-9. I mean, honestly, I think that's about on par with what I thought they'd do with the first-year head coach.
We are
Mhm.
who they
That's
are
their
who we thought
rebuilding,
they
so
were.
there's
Well,
not
and
much
also,
to
their
really
best
do.
player's been
Yeah.
out for basically the entire
Yeah,
year.
and
which
they've
I've
been missing their best player.
painfully realized on my
Yeah.
fantasy team, which is in complete shambles.
Oh, you had them in your
as
starting lineup,
usual.
and you
Yeah.
just didn't.
My
never
fantasy
thought-
Oh.
team, I got screwed out of a playoff spot because Mark Andrews was still on the COVID list, and they didn't mention it until Tuesday. It's like you.
Oh, you can't
And I
start
lost
Taysom
by,
Hill
like,
at
4
tight end.
points. Yeah.
Taysom Hills, they're already trying to trade him.
Yep. Well, that was a disaster. All right, Bears and Texans. The Bears right their ship for now. They are the definition of sus.
They sus.
They
Yeah,
Absolutely
they're sus.
sus.
Complete sus.
And the
Mitch
They will be
Trubisky's
sus.
auditioning for a role on another team next year.
Yes, that was absolutely what that game was.
Yep.
That was an
Where
audition
does-
tape for everybody involved.
Where does he
I mean,
go?
He'll get a backup role somewhere. He'll be fine. It's one of the worst defenses in the NFL, so you can't really gauge much off it.
It's
All right.
Romeo Cornell defense. That thing's been picked apart for 20 plus years. But I will say this about the Bears' offensive play in that last game. For the first time since probably week 3 or so, was the first time I saw the Bears' offense actually playing for the sticks. And you know the catalyst for that was more than likely Allen Robinson's failure on 3rd down last week against Detroit. When he stepped out, he was unguarded. He stepped out before the stick.
Yeah.
The
Damn.
Bears'
have-
offense did to Houston what I expected them to do to the Giants, to the Lions twice, and to some of these other opponents we've played this year. Still doesn't absolve the coaches and the GM and Ted Phillips of getting fired.
I have literally the worst joke on earth, and I'm gonna tell it because
Do it.
I'm just gonna do it. It's literally the worst joke that I have ever come up with. But see, now you know it's terrible. So Mitch Trubisky had a pet tarantula, and that pet tarantula was playing in a charity softball game against ex-NFL players, and an ex-Seattle running back hit the ball to the pet tarantula, and then he ran past the base, and the tarantula tagged him out. So Mitch Trubisky's spider tagged Ricky Waters out.
What?
That is a swing and a miss, Mr. 5 Points. That was a big whiff. That was a whiff so goddamn hard your helmet fell off your head, just like Big Sexy.
I'm proud of myself.
That was as big of a whiff as trading up to draft Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick
There you
Mahomes.
go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, you have to remember the 3 guys that were picked with those picks. Alvin Kamara,
All right, just
Fred
pile
Warner,
on my
Jones.
bad joke, will
That's
you?
what
Okay.
That's what you have to do, man.
All right. I knew
Jags
I
had a
told
chance
her,
to take Russell Wilson.
but I did
They
it
chose not
anyways.
They picked up
Cardinals
Hunter.
and the Giants suck again. They're back in trash. And I think the Cardinals are a wild card team.
You rushed Daniel Jones back too soon.
Yeah, he could not
Yeah.
do anything that makes him good, which is run for his life. And with his little hamstring, he's forced to throw the ball, and he's got no leverage off the back foot, and he could not throw
Come
the ball
on.
deep.
You needed some Colt McTexan action.
We did need some Colt McTexan. Colt McCoy, the most Texas name in the history of Texas.
I didn't even know that he was still playing football. I was shocked
thought
when I
he-
heard he was playing.
He suffered like 3 concussions when he was in Washington.
He had a big
Yeah.
concussion against Columbus with Pittsburgh. James Harrison smacked him on the ground, and then Cleveland kept him in the game.
If
And everyone's
somebody,
sitting there like, dude, what are you doing?
if somebody should not be in football, it's Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon
Mike-
should not be.
Oh,
Mike
And
Glennon
here's
is
the part where we
Well, of course
remind
it's
you
on the Jags,
that the
though.
Bears paid $15 million a year for Mike Glennon.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
worse
they
than
sure
my
fucking
joke.
did. But you
Mhm.
want to know something else? Mike Glennon is the only proof Colin Kaepernick needs to prove collusion.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you can also argue Derek Anderson and Mark Sanchez starting games in 2018.
Listen, Mike Glennon broke a lot of barriers. He's the first giraffe to ever play in the NFL. All right,
Yeah, he
Joey
about runs like-
Overstreet. Hey guys, guess what? The Broncos are still in the playoff race. They just need to win out.
We talk about how often
Let's take
Yeah.
a look here.
I have-
5:38.
Have the Titans, Colts, and
I
some
have-
other teams make the playoffs. The Dolphins have to lose to the Pats. Okay.
538 has you at a less than 1% chance of making it, and you're playing Buffalo next week.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, good luck.
no, sorry,
No.
you
You're
had
not-
your chance and you blew it. That's all I can say.
You're not passing Indianapolis. You're not passing Miami. And you sure as hell aren't passing either Baltimore or Cleveland.
Yeah, you're
Dude, can we,
finished
like,
with
talk
the
about-
election.
God.
Done.
Can we talk about how hilarious it is to like watch some of these NFL games and they pull off like the playoff picture, and like 3-9 Dallas is still in the hunt
right.
because the NFC East is just so awful
no
this year.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
It's so
Dallas,
cursed.
the Cowboys beat the Bengals in a move that shocked something that shocked nobody as the Red Rifle comes back to Cincinnati and teabags his old team. Cowboys are still trash. Any NFC East team is trash. The Bengals are super trash. They're
They
not
mega
downward spiral trash, but they're trash. They are trash.
I'll be right
Trash
back,
is
boys.
trash. All right, Tree, read the next 5.
never
Wait,
mind.
we got to stop when we get to Dodgers. So,
All right.
rapid fire.
Tell you what. All right, I was gonna go to the bathroom, but I'll do these next 5.
Oh, okay. You're going to go
sorry.
take a piss.
CDR, STR are pro. Tree, I will ask this question again. Is this the beginning of the Steelers losing out, missing the playoffs, and the return of days of our Steelers? They are not losing to the Bengals. Dude, if they lose to the Bengals, okay, what should I do if the Steelers lose to the Bengals?
Find a gourd and place it in a body cavity.
You have to like walk into Lake Erie like Hugh Jackson did after they did the imperfect season.
Dude, I'll probably
Let's
walk
see.
into fucking Allegheny.
You'd have to pound an Iron City live on stream, like just the
I could
entire
probably do
24
that.
ounce.
Well, either
24
that
ounce.
or a Pittsburgher.
Pittsburgh. Nah, the Pittsburgher's been done though. I don't know. Let's think about that. Think on it, chat. Think on it. Male romper. No, the male romper's been done. That was fucking funny. Jorts.
That was you who put
We
me
might
up
have
for that.
to. We might have to wear a Yinzer tuxedo, jorts, and a tank top.
Shit.
I think that's it. Yeah. Yinzer tuxedo, jorts, and a tank top. If the
I'll have to
Steelers,
put on the little whisker mustache too.
you'll have to create a pair of jorts with scissors.
We got to get
I
him
know
a
you don't know.
denim tank top to do
Yep.
that.
Yep. There it is. Okay.
Yep.
If the Steelers that we're calling it right now. All right. Read the next 2 and then go take a piss.
James Amadei for 5. Is the NFL going to release the rule saying we can't intentionally rest players because the Steelers were doing that the last 2 weeks? Clearly, no. It feels like they weren't even showing up because the Steelers haven't had a bye week. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
The NBA's doing it because they're losing it on primetime games. That's why the NBA's doing it.
You had to
The NFL, it's like, this is a weird year.
Yeah.
Everything is weird.
And welcome to the NFL. Dodger of Zion for 5. If I win my money league this Christmas, y'all getting a cut.
Oh shit. Oh damn, Dodge.
Money.
Dodge, are you here?
I'm here and watching Baker Mayfield run for his life, and that's a 4th down. Thank goodness.
Oh, you're trying to get Nick Chubb not to score for you, right? You're anti-fantasy.
And Justin Tucker to keep being automatic.
Yeah. Legatron. Anytime you have to rely on a kicker for the fantasy, not a good sign.
Well, I'm up by 10 points. I just need Justin Tucker to just do whatever it is he does,
a
and
boat
I
race,
just need them to stuff Chubb.
Yeah. Stuff Chubb. That sounds like a
Stuff Chubb.
That sounds like a Cyberpunk 77 reference. Mm-hmm.
It sure does.
Yep. Stuff the Chubb. For the BBC. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
Ooch, how big did you juice yours up? Was it
I mean, I went the only level that's appropriate for me, the BBC level, of course.
2020?
Oh my God.
2020 has me asking another man how big his fake cyber penis is. That's 20.
And by big, I think he means he juiced it up 69%.
69%.
Nice.
Baltimore Lewis, please tell me there's hope for the Niners next year. Please tell me something good about them. Just get healthy would be good. Mm-hmm. And Dodge, we will talk about Jalen Hurts when it's time. And,
Absolutely.
and how dead Carson Wentz's career is as of this week in Philly.
Yeah, his career is officially over now. At least as a starter.
As a
He's
starter,
gonna have to just be a backup from now on.
Everyone's just saying,
That's
Hurts.
crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy that he goes from being the golden ginger to the black sheep of, his contract is terrible, and he's got a rookie out there humiliating him.
Dude, I feel bad for the guy. I mean,
Why?
Yeah.
He's getting paid.
Well, just like in terms of like the one Super Bowl
How
they
many
won, that
years?
wasn't even like
How many
his team.
years? Yeah,
It was just
wasn't.
Nick Foles.
I know.
Next time, stay healthy.
Stay healthy. That's easier said than done, right?
yeah, of course. But no, he had his chances to make his claim to the team, and he forced the coach's hand. They didn't force him.
It's true.
They gave him plenty. They gave that cat more chances than a lot of teams would give quarterbacks to show something.
Yeah, and I don't think that Wentz, if he's out there, they win that game. I don't think in
Nope.
any because
Something's wrong with him in the head. Like he's not decisive in any circumstance.
yeah, and he holds on to the ball too long, and that's the quarterback's death, right? You see it happening to Daniel Jones. You see it with Sam Darnold. You see it with Josh Allen early in their career. You hold on to that ball, it's like a ticking time bomb. It's the hot potato, and you need to get rid of that shit.
Stop expecting your lineman to block for you and know where you want to go with the ball.
Yep. Beast of Metal 1989. Dear Keith Buttlicker, kindly fuck off to a linebacker post somewhere. Sincerely, Moribund Mortician. P.S. You've destroyed yourself. Oh. All right. Let's get to another game. Another two. Let's do another two. Colts squarely are a playoff team. They beat the shit out of the Raiders. The only real question with that is, are the Raiders trash or are they sus? Because they seem to bounce it back and forth between the two.
If you're streaky, then you're sus.
Yeah, they're 7-6. They're sus. They're sus.
They should have realistically lost to the Jets too.
They should have, but
yeah, by all logic of football knowledge, they should have lost.
If Greg Williams doesn't call like the only six-man
only
rush in
play
like the
that can
history of
cost
the
you.
league in that situation, then the Raiders should have lost.
they won't be expecting it.
I don't know what the safety was even doing on that play. He was just like standing there playing like a half spy, half blitz. Like if he went full on quarterback, he probably would have gotten him.
And you cover a man who he ran what, a 4.2 40?
Yeah, with a rookie corner.
The rookie
named
corner.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
They had a big binder full of defensive blitzes, and it had a big sticker on it that said
Never
blitzes.
Yeah.
Then they had one fucking folder with one sheet of paper with a sticker over the top of the folder that said, "Do not call this play." And that's the folder he opened up out of curiosity. And oh, this is my old Engage 8.
Yeah.
Let's run it.
He had asked Madden and was like, let's go with that. Okay.
No, even asked Madden would be like, "Go prevent."
Yeah.
he just looks like, "No, you're fucking stupid. Stop."
No. Prevent. Stop it. Prevent.
He's like, "No, I'm gonna run a punt rush."
Stop it. Get some help.
David Benjamin, and to think I wanted the Browns to draft Darnold. How wrong was I? Yeah, you were very wrong, son.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with Darnold, but I mean, that's more the Jets, I feel like.
If you put Darnold through the meat grinder that is the Cleveland Browns that Baker Mayfield's exposed to, I don't know that Darnold has the character to make his way through that.
Well, that's why they drafted Mayfield, because he was cocky enough to take the abuse. And he was
really.
Like,
well, you mean he's stupid enough to take the pain?
Yeah, actually, what's happening? He doesn't take the abuse. He talks shit all the goddamn time.
That's more accurate. He talks shit because he was fronting, and they called him on his fronting.
Yeah, they saw him grabbing his nuts.
He's grabbing his nuts, acting tough, and he ain't even done nothing. Then he gets his ass exposed for an entire season after all of that fake hype that he had before last year. And then he had to go back and be humble and start working on his shit again.
Bundes Autobahn 7 for this time 5,000 Costa Rican colones. CRC stands for Costa Rica colones, and that is our currency. And by the way, we lost the Tank Bowl. Yes, I've been to Costa Rica. Very beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, me too. I've been there as well. They got amazing hot springs.
Yes, the women there. I've never the women at McDonald's look good, and you're just like, oh.
Oh yeah,
Supermodels work at McDonald's, and
I was
you're like
walking through the shacks, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
can I marry her?
I'd marry her.
Right. Yeah, you see many Costa Rican women get imported from Costa Rica because they're like, "Hey, This is much better than living in this shack. Ryan Ferrier,
Damn it, now I know what I have to do. I'm going to Costa Rica.
You should.
Tree, I'm right there with you.
Canadian 5, EMPLemon. Does John Boyce still make the most interesting and well put together YouTube videos ever? Which video of his is your favorite? Ooh, good question.
Mm-hmm. Man, he's still really good. He's doing pretty good. Was probably his best series. He's doing Dorktown now, which is more.
He's handing it off.
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like kind of the same style, but it doesn't like have the same social commentary that I thought was really special about the original. My favorite video, I still think probably the saddest pun in the world. That's the best thing he's done so far. Just the idea of scrutinizing that aspect of football, which is so common, but it's just it's like exposing how it's like cowardly to punt in so many situations, and you have all these statisticians saying that it's statistically in your favor to go for it on 4th down in many situations, but teams just punt anyway. It's interesting.
Or you could be like Mike McCarthy and call a fake punt from your own 20.
With a reverse call.
And double reverse.
Quick update as
You
well.
know, the thing about
Miles Garrett had to
about
leave the
going-
field with an arm injury.
Oh, no.
oh,
I mean, I don't know if he's back, but we'll see.
the thing about going for it on 4th down is like there's percentages that you have of scoring the moment you cross a certain yard marker on the opponent's territory. If you go for it inside of your 35-yard line and you don't get it, then your opponent's automatically at like 75, 70, 78% chance they're going to score a touchdown on you. So that's where you're not going to, it's not about getting, making the first down. It's about being, putting your defense in a position where where it's 3-on-1, basically. They're up against 3 times the odds. And I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen a couple times where that's what blew the game open.
Yeah. It's all about field position, right?
Yeah, field position is massive. Starting field position is massive. You start on the other side of the field. You know how good it is when how good I feel going on the field when we just returned it to their 40-yard line.
Yeah, you're like, oh, only 3 shifts.
Hell yeah! Like we should be able to score in 5 plays. If we're just, if we're on average here, we should be able to score between 4 and 5 plays. If we're moving down the field.
I don't know if this is considered SB Nation, but they took the bat away from Barry Bonds was a very good video where they just said, what if Barry Bonds just didn't have a bat, or them eliminating the 3. I thought that was great as well. Seahawks and the Jets. The Seahawks, we know where the Seahawks are. They're back on track.
I'm surprised that wasn't a really close game.
Yeah, they bounced back from losing a surprising game to the Giants, and we know the Jets are downward spiral. Trash. Up. Tree, another 50. Do you see it?
Yep, Graf von Tyrrell. Congratulations, Arsenal. Lost at home to relegation fodder on an own goal from your star player. What a team Kroenke owns.
Poor Arsenal.
It's Arsenal gonna Arsenal, baby.
Thank you
in
again.
The first half of their name, Arse.
Yes. Thank you for the $50, Graf on T-Roll. Spending that COVID money. Just making it rain up in this low rent strip club.
Also, it's now 14-7 Baltimore as a heads up.
Omega Black, come on, Browns. Let's make it so we're only 1 game back. Possible, yeah. And then we read that one from Third Degree, Tom. Cheltastics, go Pack Go in case Tom isn't lurking. Tom might be streaming right now, though. It's possible.
Yeah, he might be doing it live for the Monday night game.
He might invade us, though. Ugh.
We should invade him.
Yeah. Oh, hey now. It's not that kind of show. Read the next 4. True.
Well, remember, it's better to give than receive, right?
Yes. This Christmas season. Give your giant BBC to someone else. Keep going. And we are demonetized.
Preferably an 18-inch one in Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, that's right.
Official goes Ricklin for 5. Even as a Packers fan, we should not be SB level. What with our awful run, return D, if those were intact, we'd be Ultra Zord instead of Mega Dragon Zord.
The
Well, you got
Packers.
the NFC is wide open this year.
Yeah, it's true. But somebody has to go to the Super Bowl, right? Someone has to be that fodder for the Chiefs.
Steelers. Okay, it's the Chiefs. Beast of Metal 1989. Dear Danny Shits, kindly fuck off back to Snyder's Teat, dumbass. Sincerely, Death Shithead. Or sorry, Death said. P.S. You've destroyed yourself.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess you can't buy an E. I guess,
1991 Petrolhead just gave us $50. Oh, now okay, he retracted it and now he's gonna type in an actual message. He prematurely he donated.
That's a bummer. Jesse for 5. Hail to the name redacted. Fight for Washington football team. Time for my Niners to join the Tank Bowl. You're on the outside looking in.
Fucked your
now.
tank up. Yeah, you fucked your tank up. You've won too
Tried
many
to win
games.
early.
Right.
I mean,
You're going to get a mid-level defensive back in the draft.
Like, they'll probably, I mean, you have Dallas coming up, which, I don't know if you could call it a tank bowl anymore.
They keep winning games that they shouldn't, though. But they couldn't help us out and beat the damn football team.
Oh, they crushed the football team.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you run a double reverse on a 4th and 10 at your own 20 and the punter doesn't block anybody and there's 5 guys waiting for him at the damn line.
Taipei Joey 101. Never thought I'd see Emp and Tree together. My dream ending for 2020 is to see Fitz retire a champion with the Cards. He's saying Larry Fitzgerald.
Actually, what if they randomly get Ryan Fitzpatrick in free agency? So both Fitzes win a
Ooh,
championship.
Fitz to Fitz.
Wow.
Fitz magic. Fitz magic to
How is
Fitzgerald.
that playing with fire?
That's like that'd be like the two Kyles, right? But the
Yep.
two Fitzes. Mm-hmm.
Hot take without the
Oh, you
hot
read
take.
that? Yes.
You know, I won't be happy if the Giants make January. Even as a fan, this team doesn't deserve playoffs in any capacity. The defense is a damn colander. Oh, no, they're looking okay right now, and we did actually get another 50.
Yes. Nobody in the NFC East deserves it. Maybe Washington. Washington might finish
Washington-
over 500.
Washington is the best defense in the NFL. The problem is their offense is just like
terrible.
it's like
Dwayne Haskins
Dwayne
coming around.
Haskins,
He's over there
yep.
crying, getting
Uh-huh.
ready, and emotional off his win. You still
Emotional.
garbage. They're going to get rid of you at the end of the year.
oh, they're gonna trade him for like a 6th or a 7th or something.
1991 Petrolhead for 50. Man United got drawn in the Europa League against Real Sociedad in LA in La Liga. As a Liverpool fan, I'm excited to see them crash out by at least 5 goals. Man U has not been good this year, right? They've been trash.
Man. They still got a Pogba?
I don't know. All I know is that when I saw them play Tottenham, they got destroyed. Yeah, Man U is trash this year. Kurt Coble, as a Bills/Canucks/Sabres fan, I'm not used to my teams living up to expectations. Please change this immediately so I can avoid the heartbreak. Okay, thanks. Yeah, the Bills are winning. The Browns are a good team.
Yeah, I mean, the Sabres will probably fuck it up.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not reading part of this next one. Golden Hybrid 258. Randy Fichtner can go get something. Your new offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Urinating Tree. In Schlosser, we trust.
oh
Everyone, we don't say that around here. We don't wish badness on people.
yeah, that's a little too far, man.
Yeah, it's not edgy.
You don't want to get hydro in vitro visualization. Come on.
Yeah, come on. No, we don't do that around here.
I mean, I don't go around saying, "Hey, you should get blah blah blah." I mean,
Right.
it's like, I mean, I did it. Yeah.
We don't approve of high intensity virginity here.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tree does.
Hey, well, Fichtner is you can't be a born again virgin.
Packers and the Lions. Did Imp leave us?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
I think we scared him off.
We gotta
Remember when
continue.
scared
He
off
is our
the
guest.
for the first time he was
Right.
here. I'm like, dude, did you not warn him about this?
Yeah. We must continue to keep him involved.
Yes.
All right. Tom knows the Packers and the Lions. The Packers, I hate to say this, are they going to the Super Bowl?
No, they're going to lose their first game in the plaffs.
So their division?
That defense is still suspect.
Yeah, they're.
But they
It doesn't matter. This is what Aaron Rodgers has yet to really understand about his time in Green Bay. When he won a Super Bowl, his defense played 5 times the ball that they played in the regular season.
True.
They were actually the reason why they won the Super Bowl. Why they got
you had
that
BJ
playoff.
Raji return that ball in the championship game.
Yeah,
BJ
dude,
Raji, AJ Hawk, Clay
defense
Matthews.
balled out. Their defense balled out. That defense, since that Super Bowl championship, every year that it looks like Green Bay's going to the Super Bowl, you just look at their defense and you say, well, maybe they'll do it again, but they never do. They go out there and they're going to get, generally in the playoffs, you're not going to score. It's not going to be very high scoring games.
No.
Yeah, cold weather.
Have to make plays.
Their defense prevents them from winning.
Exactly.
Prevent defense.
Exactly. Their defense prevents them from winning. And so when the inevitable, 2-quarter shutdown of Aaron Rodgers comes, there's no way for them to stop the bleeding.
The Lions are still somehow not mathematically eliminated, by the way, but they are sus.
What the fuck?
They are
I mean,
sus.
they will more or less regret other losses in the year, like Chicago.
Yeah. Well, the games you win in September, you don't have to win in December.
I mean, they pretty much had to win out, and they're not. So, I mean, plus Stafford's going to be out, so they're probably out next week.
Chargers and the Falcons. This was the Tank Bowl. This was the
choke bowl of all
That's
jokes. It was fantastic.
The Choke Bowl. The Chargers are trash. The Falcons are trash. Easy one. Thank you. NFL.
Oh, dude, I wish Badgley missed that kick to take it to overtime. It would have been perfection.
It would.
But I will take back-to-back interceptions.
It would have been such perfection. Such perfection.
Oh, dude, that play to go into halftime with Anthony Lynn botching the game clock yet again. That was chef's kiss.
I mean, this is like the 4th or 5th game in a row that
I
Derrick
saw you
Henry's
do
run
that too.
for-
I saw your motion.
If Derrick Henry's run for 200 yards against the Jags, I mean, they're close. They're close.
Beast of Metal 1989. Dear Randy Sphincter, kindly fuck off to the circle of Dante's Inferno for puppets. Ooh,
That's a little kinder than the last one.
Maybe Satan can draw and quarter you before the ritual immolation. Sincerely, user Matt Ray. P.S. You were born destroyed. Yeah, we can do draw and quartering around here because it's medieval.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're all about 4 horses being hooked to each one of your extremities and going in different directions.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what bored ass fucking court jester just sat around one day and was like, gosh, I need a really fun way to kill somebody. I know.
No, court jester was the one getting killed.
That's
he
true.
wasn't funny, so it's like, yep, you're gonna die.
Some king's lackey the king was like, figure out an entertaining way to kill someone. And he was like, well, shove a hot poker up their ass or horses? It's like, I know we can use these horses. Ravens Nation. Go ahead.
One quick note. Even though I've not seen Tankami stick his nose into the chat, you kind of got the Packers a little bit in the wrong spot on your tier list there, Mr. 5 points.
Down in trash? Let's put them in regular trash this time.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
That's fine. Ravens Nation Super Bowl 55 champs. CD Projekt for Lolcow of the week after their disastrous launch of Cyberpunk 2077. Is the game that bad?
No, the game is freaking amazing, dude. Everybody who has it on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox, it's buggy, it's glitchy, it's hardly playable at all. Yes, it's bad on those systems, but dude, I'm playing mine PC Master Race, motherfucker. My shit runs smooth and it's fun, and I love it. It's a
Hell the
all
PC
the
Master
playing.
Race, baby.
So
PC Master Race. All
Also
hail.
tied at 14, Nick Chubb TD.
Nicholas Chubb, and that's burying Dodger. That's hurting Dodger. Beast of Metal 1989. I thought Hayden was acquired in 2017. Possible. I thought so too. Commando QCQ. For the love of mine and FPV sanity football gods, give the Giants a good QB and fire Jason Garrett. Daniel Jones is all right when he's not hurt.
Nah,
No,
I mean, I can see him bouncing around from team to team. He's not like, a permanent starter or anything like
Well,
that.
it's like the Jaguars effect, where they had like a shit season at the wrong time, where the quarterback class wasn't very deep.
Yeah. Limited options. Eli, man, that's why. When I remember other franchises, like I just think about how spoiled we were when your quarterback is just going to be there. Like even the Lions, like they have Matt Stafford. He's going to be there, right? It's one thing.
I mean, Steelers are going to experience this with Ben, so.
Yep. The end is sad.
I mean, it was due, unfortunately. I mean, you had your rings with him. He was in his prime, but it's like he hasn't been the same. And you've known it for the last couple of years, so.
Oh, Washington.
You guys are 11-2. Jeez.
I know. Listen to those champagne problems.
Listen to this.
Emp's over there at 1-12, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd take."
I'm happy we got one.
Yeah,
I'd take your
We
broken arm, Ben
we shouldn't even have the
Roethlisberger,
one.
every day of the week over Minshew.
Shit.
Listen, the more I think about it, like the Giants beat the Redskins on the last day of the season last year, and like while I was watching the game, I was like, "Yes, win," but now I think they would have Chase Young. They would have Chase Young if they didn't be so cocky as to win Eli Manning's last game.
That's what you got to be careful about, man. That's why I was worried about Miami beating New England. I was worried about them fucking up their tank.
Yeah, can't fuck up the tank. The Washington beat the 49ers without scoring a single offensive touchdown.
Wow.
That
funny when those
feels
games happen.
horrible.
That's the duality of the 49ers this season. Go into LA and smoke the Rams, and then come out against the football team and faceplant the way they did.
Like, I mean, Chase Young is a beast.
Chase Young is going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year, right? Oh my God.
Should be.
Dude is a monster.
Like, the only competition would be what? CJ Henderson?
Could you imagine trying to block Chase Young, Ooch? Is that someone that you would be like...
I'd body his ass. What you mean?
Would you leg whip Chase Young?
Have you seen these offensive linemen in the NFL? They're terrible. No technique. They're just getting ran, and they're just getting ran by defensive ends who really not that great. I'll give Watt his due.
Okay.
I don't see that many that are really that great.
I watch the Bears every week. Hail. I can hear what you're saying about offensive linemen these days.
All right,
terrible.
Saints and Eagles. The Eagles put in Jalen Hurts, the minimum contract man versus the $30 million man, and Jalen Hurts gets it done. What's really surprising is that the Eagles, I mean, Hurts in his other spot duty has not looked good, right? And then he goes out and starts, and then all of a sudden he looks good.
I'd say that's more on the running game dynamic, too, working out. I mean,
True.
Him and Miles Sanders both had 100 yards.
The Saints are
spot duty. He's not. He's getting second reps in practice.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Now that he's first reps, I think the Eagles are still trash, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
they're still trash. This is just
I've had doubts about the Saints for a while, but I mean, they laid an egg. They laid a big egg.
All right, Dodge. What do you got to say?
So this week was bittersweet for me because it's pretty damn obvious that the Carson Wentz era in Philadelphia, if it is not at this moment, will very soon be over. And that's a damn shame. I feel awful for him. At the same time, though, this is a city of results. If you're not getting results, GTFO. That's just how it is here. So watching that game, I was ready to get slaughtered. I was ready to get absolutely slaughtered, and that's not what happened, although we almost choked it. Got so close to choking it, That would have been a very Philadelphia thing to do. But thankfully, we held on. Alshon Jeffrey is looking closer and closer to his old form, though not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. But just goddamn.
All right.
The Hurts era has begun.
You can enjoy this week for all it's worth. Mhm.
Although tonight I'm stressing the hell out
You
because
get the Cardinals next week.
I'm stressing out because of frickin'
Chubby.
fantasy,
Yep.
and Baltimore is now forced to punt, and that's
Fuck
not
you,
good.
Baltimore.
Although it's ticking down to 2-minute warning at least.
Yeah.
Baltimore has been exposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've looked.
Yes, they have been.
They've been exposed. All that gimmick run pass option from last year is over with. It's over with. Took the NFL 1 year to catch on. Now it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens with like
Forced
every.
Lamar to throw, and he's regressed as a pocket passer.
What were you saying?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Every big
Here's the
running
thing, I
quarterback
like
now,
Lamar
it seems.
Jackson. I love him as an athlete, but he's
Well,
not.
this is the thing. Like they ask him to be an athlete, and they build his brand off being an athlete, and they place him in a system that's truly a gimmick that doesn't have the flexibility that other offensive formations and play calling strategies have. And now that that's been exposed and forced, and has forced the Baltimore offense to actually produce a traditional offensive attack that needs accuracy and efficiency to get results. They can't do it. They can't do it.
He's limited there. He's limited. So
He doesn't have
yeah.
that flexibility in his game.
Beast of Metal 1989. Speaking of Ryan Leaf, does anyone know what Jay Posner said to him right before he screamed, "You don't fucking talk to me, all right? Knock it off." I think he was just asking him, like, why do you
That's
suck?
a question about the game.
Yeah.
Why'd you throw 5 picks?
Yeah. Why are you the worst number 2 overall pick until 20 years later when Mitch Trubisky gets drafted?
Actually, 10 years later with the Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. No,
Ooh.
Jamarcus was a number 1 overall. Ryan Leaf fortunately did not go number 1. They took Peyton right before him. Patrick Mueller, how can Lawrence get out of playing for the Jets? Just by being obtuse and saying he won't. I think he's got so much leverage, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to
Well,
play
he's
there,
like guaranteed. Some team will definitely take him. So it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like he's
I
at
can see him
risk
pulling
of
Elway.
missing out.
yeah.
Well, probably. Who do you think could trade the Patriots?
Oh my God, no!
Who has enough
We're
draft
trade to
capital?
announce the New England Patriots have traded.
Oh my God!
They're gonna
would
do what
get
they
it.
did to Belichick, just poach him from the Jets.
It's like I resign as QB of the NYJ, and then
Yeah.
3 days later goes to New England.
20 more
Hey,
years
that would
of
be the fucking worst ever, and it would be the most New England thing to ever happen in the NFL.
It'd be the most Jets thing to happen in the NFL.
Yes, it would be the most Jetsing of the Jets.
Every beneficiary of fucked up politics in the NFL ends up being the Patriots.
Who else is good in this draft, though, right? So if I'm the Jaguars, right? If I swap with the Jets, right? If I give up the 2, if he says I don't want to play for them and I swap with the Jets, who do the Jets take if they don't get Trevor Lawrence? Fields? Come on now.
And they get 3 first-round picks from somebody for the next 3 years from somebody else.
And just hope that some other quarterback comes out.
Well, you have a couple
I
arms
don't
in
think
this
you
class.
want- I don't think-
Trey Lance.
It's
Yeah.
called rolling the dice again. They're just going to run another tank.
It's called perpetual rebuilding.
God.
They're tanking
Run
for March
run
Manning.
another tank for another year.
I like this
No,
next one. Toxic Venom 99. Watch the Jets pass on Trevor Lawrence because Gase doesn't like him. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Jets take Sarah Fuller, kicker out of Vanderbilt University.
You stole my joke,
Oh
fucker.
my God.
I know you were
His
going to say
strengths include being
Twitter-
loud and
Twitter would
passionate on
actually
the sidelines.
Hey,
Twitter would actually break if that happened.
I'd laugh hysterically
yes.
because hey, history, but lol Jets.
Jaguars have selected their pick at number 2. within 3 seconds of that.
Yeah. They would just hit send
Pick
immediately.
is in.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
They picked Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Well, no, Dave Caldwell's gone now, so they wouldn't have that kind of arrogance and thinking that that'd be a smart, savvy move.
Be careful, they might think about drafting keeping Doug Marrone around. So,
oh no, that dude is a dead man walking. Have you seen his post-game interviews?
Yeah, he's just going through the motions, dude.
yeah, if they keep him around, it's like, why would anyone want that GM role? You have a pick, but you're stuck with a random head coach.
Let me tell you something. There was a guy by the name of Gene Smith who was a GM in Jacksonville. That's a name. If you utter that name in Jacksonville, it's the same as if you utter 28-3 to anybody in Atlanta. You just see a look of despair and sickness cross their face. Dave Caldwell may have very well done more damage than he did. And there's no way that they're going to allow any remnant of that to stay in Jacksonville.
They should have fired that all last year.
Yeah, I have no idea why they kept him after last season.
Yeah, nobody knows why. He had 1 year to fucking make something happen, and he said, "You know what? Rebuild." Rebuild.
You got
1 year.
Yeah. The long con has to go for 5 years. That's a long con. Donovan gives 5 points. I got an video idea for you. I'm currently doing a history paper about why Jackie Robinson gets credit for breaking the color barrier when Marion Motley, NFL player, did first. You should do a vid about this. Yeah, you know what? I think the thing was the NFL was always forward thinking. Like they were like, hey, look, we need more bodies out here, honestly. And
we need better athletes.
Yeah, number one, we need more athletes, and we need more crazy people willing to get concussed for our game. So we don't care.
It's not like that old clip that was throwing around of 30s football with a guy just throwing it like it's just like a beach ball, and then just a random lineman just standing up yeah, I'm blocking.
No, the best thing about finding old football is the wedge formation, where they would literally form a wedge during the kickoff and just steamroll people.
Yeah, the biggest guy is on the front of that Red Rover line.
Yeah, and they would just.
Also, it's like the Flying V from Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I witnessed a man collapse his lung on kickoff return.
Ugh.
Jesus.
The last year they allowed the wedge. It was nasty.
I'm glad that they got rid of it, but remember, wedge breaker was like a job in the NFL.
Yeah. Who was small, speedy, and dumb enough to launch headfirst into the front of the wedge?
Steve Tasker, right? That was his job, basically.
I'll never forget this fucking guy my rookie year in Jacksonville. First preseason game, I'm on kickoff return. And I'm scared as shit. Like, oh my God. There's this guy who's 5'5", wearing a Thurman Thomas face mask. He looks like he's been on steroids for at least the last 6 months. And he is sweating his ass off and looks like he doesn't even know where he is. That's the guy who collapsed my teammate's lung.
He just ran in and he just hit him.
Because his whole job was to run down that field as fast as he could and spear the guy on the front end of the wedge. That's how you collapse and bust the wedge, right?
Right, yeah, by collapsing and busting a lung, apparently.
Exactly. Every team had these fucking, cruise missiles on their team. The only job was to be there for special teams and to missile his ass down the field and TKO the guy on the front of the wedge.
Whoever it was that he ended up just ping-balling himself into. And he hit this, I forget the cat's name, but he ran into our one of our other offensive linemen so hard. I looked down at this dude on the ground. He had a look on his face.
Like
his eyes were starting to roll into the back of his head. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's killed him.
You were like, you were like the medic in Nam. You were like, just bring him morphine. Bring him the morphine.
Morphine!
Morphine, just stick him right in the neck, right in the carotid artery.
Right there. Beast of Metal 1989. Remember, Christopher Johnson is the scion of a family that spent 50 years covering up the internet asbestos contamination in their signature product. Nick Gase is probably Jets coach until December 2022. Yeah, the problem with the Jets is their ownership, Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Johnsons are trash, dude. You have Woody Johnson pretending to be a bureaucrat in, Ireland or something like that?
They made their money at being the first people to invent soap. I mean, come on. Like, how genius are they? Right? Oh,
Well,
It wasn't them that invented it. It was previous family members that invented it. They've
but
done
they
nothing.
marketed it, right? And then they were like, hey, let's have talcum powder with asbestos in it.
Like, if you don't have like that accomplishment, you pretty much have as much respect for me as like some of the legacy owners in the NFL. And I mean, they technically are legacy owners, even though they bought the team from Leon Hess.
Jared said, I wouldn't mind coming on when you get to the Lions game. Hey, Jared, it's been a really crowded night. We're barely even giving Emp enough time to speak. Sorry about that.
Nah, no worries.
All right. Then shut up. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe what we should do is like what WWF does. We do a Raw brand and a SmackDown brand.
Oh, we should.
Oh, yeah.
Something stupid like that. Like we do drafts. It's like we're gonna draft Uchin Waneri to SmackDown brand and EMPLemon to Raw brand,
And then we'll just let him have it out.
and you never cross.
DDRM STR Pro Tree. The Bengals will beat the Steelers out of spite. The Steelers play down in the competition accordingly and will be chewed to pieces before they play. Ooh, that's some
What
shit.
if that's foreboding right there? Or shadowing, rather.
All right, I'm gonna read these.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do if they lose to the Bengals.
That would be sickening.
Marquez Riley, SEC championship game, Alabama and Florida. PS5 is on everyone's wish list. NBA season starts soon. Let's see what KD can do. And more tracks added to the 2021 NASCAR season. Can Florida beat Alabama? And what happens if they do?
If they do, I think they get back in the playoff hunt.
Really, with two lot. I think they're out of the playoffs. I even think if they blow out Alabama, I still don't think they'll
I
get
feel
in.
like if they beat Alabama, then Alabama shouldn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't lose this close to the playoffs and get in.
I don't
No.
see.
Well,
That's how it works.
that 1 year Bama won the title a couple of years ago. They lost to Auburn, didn't even play in the championship game, and got in playoff as the 4 seed.
That's
Yep.
true.
And
That was year
they
2 at
came through
Tagovailoa.
the
And
title.
that was
Yep.
bullshit.
They beat
Should've never
Georgia.
happened.
Yep.
But I mean, they were the best team at the end of the day. So
There was
Yeah,
also
but
that
they-
year.
They lost
No, they-
at the worst time.
Alabama's done it twice. They lost to LSU that year, 9-0, and then they sat the SEC championship game, got in the playoffs, rematched, they ran it back. They got the matchup against LSU for the BCS
that
title.
was still one of the worst title games of all time.
Oh,
on
and they beat
TV.
the absolute piss out of
Awful
them.
game.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Awful to watch.
Yeah. No, there was no SEC championship. They just didn't win the SEC that year, which is crap though. I don't know how you can't win your own division.
If you don't win your division, you shouldn't be allowed in the the playoffs.
Right. You're not even the
Like,
best
that's
in
how
your
it is.
in your
You had
town.
to get a playoff instead of a 14 playoff, but
I think I don't know why they
so
haven't gone to an 8-game playoff this year just because of COVID.
Yeah, like one
All the
round
questions.
playoff. That's just dumb as hell.
Well, it's
I
sitting there to being engineered to get as many SEC teams in as they can.
Yeah, well.
for TV ratings, that's why. Because they always used to be like, oh, it's not the real national championship. Like they're in the Rose Bowl instead of the Orange Bowl or something like that. That's why they did it.
Well, it could always be in the Turd Bowl if they wanted to be.
They're still figuring it out in
Two-land
college.
Benny 445. Wentz goes to the Colts and wins the Super Bowl. Okay.
I can see that.
I can see that happening actually.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
just get his
Frank
head.
Reich was his big
Right.
thing in Philly, and
What is he going to do? Throw it
That's
to
true.
T.Y. Hilton? T.Y. Hilton's not even playing well anymore.
Yeah, T.Y.'s
Hilton's old.
Hilton gave his life to football just like the gunner on the wedge breaker. Like he's so small and he would just get hit like so hard.
that was Austin Cole.
Yeah, but he's
Austin
also the
Collie.
guy who's wearing the largest set of football pads of anyone on the field, either.
True.
Yeah, he is.
Cult of
Austin
Christensen.
Collie, yeah, you're right about that one.
Downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral. I love EMPLemon. Oh, thank you for bringing your fans.
Thank you
over.
so much. We love that part of the experience of being a sports fan is to go on the downward spiral. You can never appreciate the glory unless you've been at the darkest depths of failure.
Penguins were like that for a while.
Oh, the
Yeah, when they
Penguins
declared
almost
bankruptcy.
moved.
304 when they were bankrupt.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
getting shipped to
when-
Kansas City.
When the Penguins were 32 hours from moving to Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And that's actually not a lie.
Yeah, that's
There
true.
is
That is true.
there was a contract that was signed by Mario Lemieux where like certain waivers and riders were supposed to start kicking in within 32 hours before the state of Pennsylvania approved that funding round for console.
The casino.
Yeah.
The casino saved it. And you also have to remember they nearly moved to Houston in the late 90s, but Yager single-handedly saved that franchise by beating the Devils.
Wow.
I mean, literally, like I should make a video on just how much bullshit the Penguins have had.
Imp, where you remember that Mike Mularkey season?
Oh God, what was that? 14 or 15?
That was the Mike Mularkey season. That was 2012.
Oh, 2012. God, it's been that long since Mike Mularkey.
You put it so far back in your memory.
Oh, dude, that's like a repressed memory. I don't even remember that football season. I don't remember like but one game.
That sounds like a bunch of malarkey.
Right.
That was actually, I do remember they played Carolina in a game where it was like
the Rain Bowl, the Monsoon Bowl, yeah.
And then they played Cleveland in a game where Josh Gordon got like 200 yards.
Yep.
Oh, that was ridiculous. That was when Josh Gordon was put on the map, and then he got caught smoking weed like a day later.
Yeah, the Jags traded up to get Justin Blackmon, who was also very good for like a single game, and then both he and Josh Gordon, like generational talents, are out of the league.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know Blackmon was a generational talent for real.
He was. Unfortunately, the alcohol was.
Yeah, he was a straight alcoholic.
He seemed like a good guy too. It's weird that he's eligible to come off the list. I don't know why. Maybe he's just not.
He's just. I think
he's out of shape.
Yeah.
Was it Sports Illustrated or somebody? You're talking about Justin Blackmon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated did a follow up to him. It was like 2 or 3 years ago about him having to go back in front of the judge in Oklahoma about his DUI. And said he easily gained like 50 pounds. He's not.
No.
That's so sad.
I've seen the video footage from that court case. He looks the same.
Really?
He looks the same. He just really looks like a fucking bent out alcoholic. He looks like he still has an issue.
Sad.
He looks like a lot of people who live in a lot of small towns in Oklahoma that they done methed up.
Yeah,
methed up.
he didn't gain much weight, but you know, man, I felt so bad for him because Jaguars could have helped him and they didn't. And I fucking to this day, I still have like there is a little resentment to the Jaguars because of that, because they knew that he had a problem. They knew it. Everybody was telling him he has a problem. You need to help him.
And they didn't do it.
They didn't even try, dude. Because the owner at that point now is Shad Khan. Shad Khan ain't never there. Gene Smith was on his way out the fucking door. You know, like all these people were just looking out for their own asses, which I mean, hey, it's a business. I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this dude could have changed that franchise if they just kept him in line a little bit. But
imagine if they have both Justin Blackmon and Allen Robinson at the same time.
Oh, unstoppable, dude. This dude, Justin Blackmon, man.
Even Bortles couldn't fuck that up.
Yeah. All you got to do is throw it. Just throw the ball near him.
The rake
doesn't even have to be on target.
Sorry. The rake for 20. So, Tree, how do we feel about Pitt trading with Dallas or other team that needs picks so we can get Mac Jones / Kyle Trask? Or as much as I like Connor, we could get Najee Harris. He's been a monster for this year, possibly, I think. Is Kyle Trask coming out?
Yes, I think he is eligible this year. Him and Mac Jones.
He could be a nice pick. That could be the best
good value pick for like a good team.
A lot of people have suggested that the Bears should pick up Trask, and after seeing his tape, he looks like he's about 85% or greater of the way to being pro ready.
He looks good.
Ready? What, quarterback?
I just think it's too easy to call him Kyle Trash. You know, like everyone's gonna be.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck up.
Well, it would be.
I thought Josh Rosen was the most NFL ready, and he got ruined.
Yeah, I'm always hesitant to call any college quarterback NFL ready, because if you've ever spent some time with college football coaches, and I'm not saying that Purdue is the best, but Purdue has had it's Purdue. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. But these cats, I mean, from my perspective, they don't really know what they're doing. And I don't understand how I don't understand why there's not like game. Like maybe there is in some conferences or some other teams, but just from how I looked at it, the game planning doesn't really make sense. They're just running plays. They're not actually like attacking.
Well, they need to keep it simple and within those college players' abilities because maybe
because you're always rotating those guys in and out every 4 years, and that's been stated as the biggest difference between college ball and pro ball is that in college, a guy will establish a system. He's going to try to make his players fit that system and weed them in and out. They're going to get the most out of them they can for 4 years, and then they're out the door. In the NFL, coaches, like you see Belichick over there, and he's always looking at his paper, and he's got his ear
around their players.
Yeah, they mold the system around their players, but they're also coaching situational football.
Yeah,
like the situation of the defense is in a nickel package right now. They're showing us, they're showing like an extra safety coming in and potential blitz, and we currently have 11 personnel out there. This is the play call we're going to run with 11 personnel. And every situation, it's always a chess match. But in college, it's just not. It's going through the motions.
I've been
watching Trask this year because I watched the Gator games, and I can definitively say he's like far and away the best passer the Gators have ever had. Well, maybe not ever, but
you don't think
at
Chris
least
Leak?
The Tebow days, he's a lot better than Tebow.
Chris Leak was a pretty good passer, right?
Chris Leak?
That was Tim Tebow's when they needed someone to.
Yeah, they won the title in 06 with Leak as like the primary passer, but
that actually made me sneeze just out of the idea. Chris Leak?
He could pass. Come on,
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
He could pass, but
he was
you're
the
forgetting what that Denver offense looked like back then.
Yeah.
All right, I got to rapid fire these super chats. All right, Beast Metal 1999. Oh, one more, dear Mike Munchak, please come back. Sincerely, the Board of Worthless Pieces of Fuck Incorporated. Mike Shaw, Jimmy Haslam now has a championship with the Columbus Crew, winning the MLS Cup this weekend. 2020, am I right? 2020 for everything. Trevor
by the way,
court.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. Trevor Tamina, I think the majority of us can all agree on this. The best signing in the NHL this offseason was Jack Johnson to the Rangers. Thank you for bringing that up.
Jack Johnson to the Rangers. Oh, you could just automatically argue Cody Ceci to the Penguins. So.
Yeah, well. Cody Ceci. Gadzooks, daily reminder that Taysom Hill is a tight end. The Eagles winning means nothing because Kyler Murray will probably throw for 400 next week and eliminate the Eagles. And hope you're doing well. No, I think all 4 NFC East teams will be in it to the last week. I think it's very possible that's the situation.
That.
Yeah.
You wouldn't find out until the last day when the teams play each other.
Mm-hmm.
You watch. They'd flex that game out to prime time. It would be like the 6 and 7 football team against whoever the hell they're playing.
I think all 4 teams.
With Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call.
I think what should happen is all 4 teams should play on the same field and just make it a huge battle
Fatal
royal of trash.
Oh, yeah.
Joe
Buck, unfortunately, on the call.
Yeah, and if anyone gets hurt, they don't come out with the stretcher to get them. They just come out with the waste management garbage truck.
No, they come out with the old Madden ambulance and just run over a couple of the players.
To get the guy, yeah.
That was my favorite thing ever.
They have a horizontal and a vertical field, and they all have to play at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, when they hit the crossroads, it's a wreck.
It's like, oh no, the quarterback and wide receiver just hit each other. I don't know if they're going to be able to get up. Pass is caught.
Touchdown.
Thug King 25, 5 points. Giants play Eagles on the last week of the season last year, and Washington football team played Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right. No, but the Giants
had a big fumble, and Dallas beat the shit out of Washington.
But yeah, it was the week before that they played Dallas. That they played the football
Eagles
team.
played Dallas, and then Eagles beat Dallas.
Fuck their tank up.
Golly, Jason Garrett is probably he's probably been loving watching the Cowboys blow this season into some chunks.
Justification, right? The Rake was listening to Moat's show, and he brought up good point after Pitt beat Cincy this week. Do they start resting players to prevent more key injuries from not the whole game, but like during the third? Well, if they clinch, yeah.
They're sealed up. They'll probably rest everyone week 17.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the
like
resting
that
the whole
Dallas
team.
game. Remember when
Well,
Dallas?
they haven't had a bye week. That's what you have to understand.
I'll let them play the first quarter, then pull them.
Black
I remember
flags
that was
matter.
a big thing.
Oh,
like
go
in
ahead.
The 2000s with like Peyton Manning, they'd often rest him in like week 17
And
with
not win the
varying
Super Bowl.
success.
Yeah, and not win the Super Bowl. Black flags matter. What's up, Darian? Look out for the Hornets this season. Oh, the
Oh,
Charlotte
yeah,
Hornets. The Pistons just cut LiAngelo Ball, didn't they? So
I
there will-
think. I mean, the Hornets will probably bring him in.
there will
you
not
know.
be 3 balls in the league. You only want 2 balls.
Are there? Which one is any good? I know there's a bunch of them, right?
LaMelo was like a top 4 pick, something, so he's gonna be pretty good. And Lonzo was like first round. So
Lonzo
He's
was
a
like number 2
second-round pick.
overall.
yeah.
And that, he's okay. But, like,
LiAngelo is
Oh.
he's the third brother. He's the Cooper
he's
Manning.
like the Thanasis and Antetokounmpo. He's or the Kostas Antetokounmpo. One of those.
He's Brett Gretzky. He's not Wayne. He's Brett.
He's Jared Stahl.
Yeah. He's Henrik Lundqvist's brother that plays like forward for some Swedish team.
Joel Lundqvist.
Yeah, Joel Lundqvist, his identical twin brother.
He's Bobby Hull Jr. He's Alain Lemieux.
Yeah. Is there another?
Malcolm Subban.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Malcolm.
Jordan
Subban.
Subban.
Jordan Subban. Jordan Subban. Golden Hybrid 258. I would like to publicly apologize for my harsh words on Randy Fichtner. Football turns me into a different person, and I let my Yinzer out. I'm sure he yells amazing things at the TV during a game. And with that, we have made it to the end of the Super Chats.
Rock on.
Rock on.
Sweet.
Thank you, everyone, for all the donations.
We better get them last 4 teams up there and close it
All
out,
right.
or else we'll be here all night.
Yes. Steelers and the Bills. Serious salt right here. The Steelers trailed pretty much the whole game, but they are a division winner, and so are the Bills. Pretty
Yep.
sad effort there, Tree. by your
Steelers played
team.
like shit. There's not much you can do. The offense looked bad. And if the defense isn't clicking on all cylinders, like they had some holes where Stephon Diggs really exposed them. Plus, you have issues with the linebacking core with all the injuries. You're going to have these games. The problem is if you're losing to the Buffaloes of the world, you looked ugly against Tennessee. You nearly blew a 20-point lead. You kind of looked iffy against Baltimore, even though the second game was just, without like a third of their fucking team. But, I mean, now you got to be at the point where it's getting a little iffy right now because you've got the Colts on the 27th, which is not an easily winnable game. The Colts have played hard against a lot of teams. And then Cleveland on the 3rd. So you probably, worst case scenario, 12-4. But that's not going to be enough to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, this remember the Bengals smells a little trappish. If they lose that game, oh my gosh, jorts and a tank top, baby. Jorts and a tank top,
Legend.
and you deserve it. Mm-hmm. All right, the Browns and the Ravens. Let's round it out and finish up the show. Thanks, Emp, for staying the full 2 hours. By the way, really appreciate it.
Sure, I give 100%.
Yeah,
My
110%.
podcast and live stream contributions.
Absolutely, man. Browns, are they a wild card team? Yes.
Browns are wild card. Ravens, wild card or sus?
Sus?
I
I go sus with the
I'd
Ravens.
say it depends if they win, they're wild card.
Yeah.
If they lose, they're sus.
As of right now, they're sus, but if they could redeem themselves and get back into wild card contention, serious wild card
Ravens need to take care of business right now, and they're ahead by 7.
But they're going to be above the Raiders, so they'll be okay after that.
Yeah, because you got then the Ravens have Jags and Giants the rest of the way. So
everyone's when I hear Uche cough, I'm like, it's COVID or a blunt. It's one or the other.
Well, if it was COVID, you'd probably hear me collapse sooner or later.
I'm going to start screaming.
I think that, Cleveland's basically guaranteed the wild card spot if they don't win the division after Pittsburgh massively chokes. So it's down between Miami, Indy, Baltimore, and the Raiders for the 6th spot.
No, Raiders are out of it pretty
Yeah,
much.
the Raiders are.
Yeah, they are.
choked
They're
in
still there,
some
but then they're
way.
outside looking in.
Yeah, they need like 3 teams to fuck it off for them to get in.
I will say this though about the Browns. If they win tonight against Baltimore, they may very well be in the driver's seat for the division.
Really?
Because after tonight, the Browns have the Giants and the Jets, and it's end of the season in Cleveland against the Steelers.
Mm.
Do they control their destiny?
If they have the tiebreaker, yeah, I think
If they're because if they have to beat the Steelers by 31 or more points because of the earlier in the season point
Yep.
differential.
Yeah,
Oh.
Plus
So
conference, so
yeah, so then that would give them enough to tie the Steelers in record and go ahead in head-to-head points. So
it's all about points. Got to run it
Yep.
up. Got to run up to score. Could you imagine it would come down to some like Cody Parkey field goal?
Oh my god.
And he
Quad
double doinks it, but it goes in.
The wind's blowing crazy out here,
What?
Jim.
watch Cleveland get that 1,000-yard stare like Matt Nagy had.
Yep. All right. Tree, any final thoughts? No, wait. Lemon, any final thoughts?
Yes. I don't know. I'm just glad sports are back after not having them for like half a year. Even if my teams in general lose in horrific ways and or are just awful.
That's what makes the wins so much more meaningful. If you're not devastated by a loss, then you don't enjoy the wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, a win in Jacksonville is like it's like a rare
Sacred.
sight. The groundhog sees a shadow.
I would say a win in Gainesville, though, when they do something big, like, wet T-shirt contest, like, it just gets crazy in Gainesville when shit goes down.
No doubt.
Yeah.
The town is completely it's
Yeah.
like a new town. The Gators
Gainesville
win.
is the epitome of r/Florida, man.
Yeah. It's
That's
inland
pretty
Florida,
accurate.
baby. Mm-hmm.
Pretty accurate.
Tree, any final thoughts before we wrap up the show?
not really. I mean, I keep feeling today's Tuesday night because of just
Yeah.
the move. They locked down my state again, so the gyms are closed again. So probably.
Wow.
We have outdoor dining, but who's gonna dine outdoors in 40-degree weather? There's supposed to be a nor'easter coming on Wednesday. Who's
Jesus.
dining outdoors? Come on.
All right.
Welcome
Let
to
me-
state government, baby.
Let me wrap up the show. Thank you again, EMPLemon, and you were very gracious with my 15-year-old, he's been a huge fan of yours. When I told him, I was like, guess who we booked for the show? He was like, no way. Like, he was like, I've followed him forever. So I think it's cool that he got to talk to you. And
Yeah, thanks. My pleasure.
impressed with your NFL knowledge. And it's unfortunate Darian couldn't get in here. He has a really nice YouTube NASCAR YouTube channel. Y'all could.
Oh, sure. Well, come Speed Weeks this February. I'll be happy to come talk some NASCAR.
Hell yeah, dude! Those kids are linked in with NASCAR. Like when travel comes again, like they can get you hot passes. Well, we'll talk about that after the show. Anyways, all right. I'm 5 points, Vids. I'm gonna end the stream now. You made it to the end of the show. And